5,000 beautiful traders. We've just hit an incredible milestone together, 5,000 beautiful traders. Your support means the world to me, guys. And I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been such a thrill to share my strategies, experiences, and insights in the market. That's also the same thing as me documenting my whole trading journey, how I started. When I look at the certified trader girl in the future, I can look back on these videos and literally, say to myself, yes, I really did come from far. Most importantly, it's been incredibly rewarding to see how the community is growing each and every single day. And I love how a lot of you are finding value and learning in the content that I share. I do be reading all of those beautiful comments, and I really am grateful that it's actually helping a lot of traders out there. So whether you're a seasoned trader or you're just starting out, this community will help you every step of the way. The community is not for building individual success, but for helping each other, get to that point where you are really satisfied with your trading results, and you can literally look back and say, yes, I have done this, right, by your own self. So let's continue to make the journey fun, engaging, and full of learning. Of course, I'm excited to see what the future has in store for us. And you already know that we're going to be doing very, very good giveaways in the future. And especially when we hit 10K, that's like the first giveaway that I'm going to do, where I'm finding 10 different subscribers and giving 10 different people free mentorship. Right? Thank you once again for your unwavering support and love for the content on Nasdaq. And here's to many more milestones. So I'm back again with a weekly analysis on Nasdaq as usual, and I know that last week I made a mistake. I overlooked that we have CPI in this current week that we are in, not the one that we left, and I was super excited, guys. You can't call me out on that because I had destroyed NFP, like literally dealt with NFP that, I was ready to attack CPI just like that. You know what I'm saying? CPI was actually not last week, it's actually this week. That is why, we are going to go on to our beautiful charts and check out our investing.com as usual, and then go on to our charts on Nasdaq and see what the market has in store for us for this particular week, right? But before we do all of that good stuff, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You know what's up. Don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? So right now, let's just hop onto these beautiful charts and check out what we have, what Nasdaq has in store for us. So obviously, we're going to start by checking out our investing.com. I was really careful this time around. I can see that it says Tuesday, 14th of May, right? I'm not going to overlook it again. And then obviously you can see that CPI is going to be on Wednesday at 3:30, right? So same thing, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when we have news. And Friday, for all of you who haven't realized that markets move really crazily on Friday, and then Mondays are trap days, right? So when you want to make a lot of money, you always want to target Friday moves, right? When you don't want to lose a lot of money, you always want to stay out of market on Mondays, because the market always wants to trap people on Monday, right? So yes, you can see that Tuesday, we're going to be careful. PPI it doesn't really move like that. So it's, yeah. Ooh, okay. I had almost overlooked Powell speaking, right? So on Tuesday at 5, goodness, that is 30 minutes before the New York session, before the NYSE session opens, and Powell is going to give us speech. So you already know that on Tuesday the markets are going to be moving crazily, because it's going to be Powell's speech and then the NYSE session opening. And yeah, that's something that you want to be careful of, right? So that said and done, let's go on to our beautiful chart over here. And I know that if you did watch this video, on multiple take profits, you could have benefited a lot on this trade. So I want you guys to notice the simple fact that I entered this trade on Monday, right? I entered this trade on Monday on the 6th, and I'm currently still in the trade because it was showing me that it is a good trade, right? It had broken our zones, all of them that we had spoken of in the previous weekly analysis. And the only thing that I did, I used that multiple take profit strategy to maximize my profits each and every single day on this particular trade, right? So The weekly analysis did play out really well. You can see that obviously just because of the mere fact that the market had broken this zone, and we were expecting it to kind of like retest this resistance zone right over there, and I had said that the market had broken out of this zone, but before we go in for buying positions in full speed, we have to first wait for it to reject this particular zone. Boom, on Monday the market simply opened with a bearish candle above the zone that we wanted. It had opened and closed above it, so we already knew that it had broken it, closed above it, because when I just look at candlestick patterns, I always want to wait for a breakout of a retest and then a close outside of the break, and if it's possible, you know, a retest too. So it broke out on Monday, you know, and closed outside of it. Let's just look at it on a clearer view, right? You see it had opened, closed out of this zone. So we already knew that we are going to be buying on the retest of this particular, you know, resistance zone that was broken, right? So technically now it was a resistance zone that has now turned into support. So it is prone to get retested, right? And then you can see that the market has just been pushing up to the top ever since. So we were adding positions simply as it goes. And then the reason why I still stayed in my trade on Friday, right? I could have closed the trade right over here, right? But should I pause the video so that you guys can explain to me why I did not close the trade, or why I did not think of closing the trade, right? So it's really simple. If you are listening to what I'm saying, it's exactly the same thing. The market came and it was at the zone, broke out of it, right? It broke out of the zone, closed outside of it. So when I saw that on a smaller time frame, you know, we entered our buying positions right over here. So that was the signal that I gave in the inner circle, you know, in the inner circle for a buying position on Nasdaq. And then we also rode with it to the top, and then obviously it played around, you know, a little bit, and then we got stuck in the trades because it really didn't move to the next zone that I expected to move. That now brings us to our Nasdaq weekly analysis. And obviously if I'm saying I'm already in the buying position, right, it kind of means that we're almost going to be biased towards buying positions too. So I'm going to explain why, right? So what always happens in the market, right? If you are seeing a buy, right, just because I have reasons to see a buy, I'm not going to be like, you know, ignorant and, you know, not respect what the market is going to be doing at the current moment, right? I can only analyze, and then the market does whatever it wants. And it's my job as a trader to respect what the market does. So in as much as I am currently in my buying positions, when I start seeing that, no, this is no longer a buying setup, I'm going to exit the positions, right? Not try to be, you know, stubborn with the market, because it's actually going to take my money away from me, right? So obviously on our top down analysis, and we're going to also remember one thing, right? We want to kind of leave these trades before CPI, because CPI, in fact, I think we're going to exit these trades on Monday, because Powell is going to speak on Tuesday, and then we have CPI on Wednesday. So the buying positions might be, you know, exited on Monday if they don't give us a good setup, right? So obviously on the daily time frame, yeah, we broke out this zone, and then it hasn't really broken out the top zone. So on the daily time frame, we could mark this as our, you know, next zone that the market could kind of go back to and should retest here or break out of that zone, right? And then obviously we're going to mark this week right over there. That'll be the maximum zone that it goes to, because here it kind of like will break and then go up to this zone right over there. But that's the daily time frame, and that's too far, right? And then we also have this one right at the bottom. So on the daily time frame, we can see that there is reason for the market to go to the top just because of these zones, right? And then, yeah, it could go to the bottom, but currently where it is, there's nothing that can really push it down like that, right? So let's now look at our 4-hour time frame, what it's saying, right? So just like how I explained it to you guys, let me not use a lot of lines. Let me just use these ones. So we did break out of that zone, and then right now it kind of looks like a retest, right? So when you are at a retest, that's a resistance, right? This was a resistance that has broken out and is now turned into a support. Whenever you are at a retest zone, you want to always look out for the candlesticks. You want to look at price action. So you can look at candlesticks, and you can also look at build up. So whenever you see the market building up at a resistance zone, it normally goes in the direction of the trend, right? So if we see a build up right over here, we know that it's going to go in the direction of our trend, which is what? A buying trend, right? So That's the first thing we're going to look at. And then if we see a bullish engulfing candle or a pin buy candle, we obviously know that, yes, the market is going to go up in the direction of buying positions. And also we can mark this zone right over here. We can say this zone can be our guide. And we are saying if the market breaks out of this zone, right, it is showing us that it's continuing in the buying positions, right? And the other thing that you can use is a trend line, right? If we use the trend line approach, if we're going to be analyzing using our trend lines, obviously we're going to go, and you can see the little trend line over here, right? So the trend line approach could be pretty simple, and you can use this within the sessions. Please hear me and hear me well, right? Within the sessions. So we can delete this one right over there because you already understand what is going on in these markets, right? The moment you see the market coming down to break the trend line, wait for it to retest. If you want to ride the sell with your stop loss right at the top, and then if you catch the sell right over here, you're going to now ride it down to the bottom, even though I would then advise all of us to then sell if it breaks this zone right over there, and then ride with it somewhere where it's going to be looking for momentum to actually push up to the top. But if it's not going to be like that, you know, for buying positions, I don't want them to be found on the trend lines. Buying positions, I want you guys to find them on the 4-hour, you know, using candlesticks. Use candlesticks for the buying positions, because the trend line can be a deceitful one, because it can just break out and then, you know, do all of those other crazy stuff that it normally does. And then if CPI pushes the market a little lower, right, let's say in the case that it pushes it a little lower, like it goes down, it's probably going to come to this zone right over there. And just the same way we looked for the price action, we'll still look for it right over here. It pushes it to the top. That means for Thursday and Friday, we're going to be looking for breakouts of these zones, right, on larger time frames. We're going to be looking for breakouts of these zones, and then we'll continue with our push up to the top on Nasdaq. So that's about it, guys. Nothing too complicated again for this week. Don't be caught up in the traps of the market. Make sure you always use proper risk management. And if you did enjoy that video, don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'm out.